Hey, stop it! Yes, but I'm about to. No, it's fine. I'm gonna come give you a kiss before. It is live. Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone. Where did I put my little knife? I did a poll recently-ish about which set people want to see me open, and this was tied with Everfest, so I haven't opened Outsiders in a minute, so we're going to do that. I have, probably should have counted before starting, 12, 30, under 40 boxes, just under 40, so. But I'm going to have to remember how this set even goes. Rare foil. Okay, it's at the bottom. Rare foil. Okay. Might be easier to just skip to the back then. Wow. Look at these. Let me know if you can't hear or see me. Which I guess if you can't hear me, you won't know to let me know, but... Oh, that's right. I need to be careful with this. Okay. Thanks, Devon. There's a expansion slot or something in this. I'm trying to remember if it's like the assassin slot or something, right? It's like a rare can pop up in a weird slot. I'm trying to remember. It's been a very long time since I touched this. Down and dirty. First Majestic, not a bad one. Dynasty had an assassin slot. Ah, yes it did, didn't it? This feels so weird to open. I don't know why the cards feel thicker. Also, they seem to be a little bowed, a little... Oh, that's a Cold for Legendary. Hey, not extended art, but... Oh, I remember. The bauble means cold foil. Haha. So we should look from the bottom. Yes, German, you are correct. Thanks for reminding me. Zoom in a little. There we go. Have you moved down yet? Traveled yet? Remember, let me know when you're back up. Definitely want to see the extended arts of these. I think this was the last set, maybe even the first set that had... Ah, nice, cool. That had like the triple versions of some cards. They've stopped doing that. So you can see this in Rainbow, Cold Foil, and Cold Foil Extended. Cut down to size. Shuriken. Havoc sees a bit of play, doesn't it? Trying to think of what we would want from this set, and I think it's the Marvels, right? Extended out legendaries, but I think Marvel codexes would probably be. But then again, also Plague Hive is pretty good. It's very played, right? So won't complain if we hit some Plague Hives. Ah, that's a foily melting point. I'm happy opening the set actually because we don't have too much of this stock. We since opening it on release, we haven't really gone back. So we're missing a bunch of these cards ourselves for the shop. Yeah, Marvel Frailty is big stonks. I think all the Marvels are okay to hit, like price-wise. I think they're still all the same or more than legendaries. Frailty always being the... Oh, that was it. I think it's a weird number of boxes because a couple of these were loose. But I don't know what's what, so we're just going to open them all. I'm assuming a bunch of these cards are new NUU cards, staples, as well as Arachne and Azuri. So I also imagine there's a bunch of Azalea tech. I honestly don't couldn't tell you like off the top of my head the top 10 hits in any set. I recognize all the cards, but I don't always remember which set they're from. But what I'm saying is I think the EV is pretty good back, like, in Outsiders these days, since both classes are played. Well, not both, all three are played, but I don't know if Zen actually plays anything from this set. That's... I know this is seeing play in Azalea. Anything that is shiny, spinning wheel. Ah, right, Zen, yep. was actually thinking today how I'm not really interested in the Fab meta at the moment whatsoever. I haven't played in a while either. I made a Enigma deck and it's fun, but I'm not passionate about it, so we'll see. And I think it's partially because I gotta vend the calling. I would normally be pumped to play it, but I'm not even thinking about playing. So, well, no, it's not that. I'm focused on vending it, so I'm not thinking about, well, I'm not going to play. So thinking about the game is like secondary now. I gotta get myself to armories. Yeah, all my locals are closed or CC only, which is okay, but it's a massive time commitment. I've been training a lot lately, so when I have time in the evening, hey, bros. Yeah, when I have time in the evening, I want to go work out rather than... Alright, I see a rainbow for a legendary. Hey, trench. What do you put? RFLs. Make a stack here. Rob, it still takes up time, man. Like, even if the games only go for 30 to 40 minutes, it's still a long evening if it's not local. So no, I don't have a local shop anymore, so they're all 30-minute drive plus. So that plus 3 rounds of CC is still at least 4 hours all up. I don't know if I've ever talked about this much before, but the only reason I started playing Fab was because I got injured in Jiu-Jitsu and I couldn't train. Not saying I'll stop playing Fab, but I have been training a lot more. And the rest of my time is the shop, so... I just got to get me to... I'm going to Worlds. I'll definitely be playing... because I'm not vending in Osaka or anything like that, so... By then I'll have a deck and I'll be excited to play. Also, the meta will be different. Thanks, Kyak. We have a buzzsaw trap. Alright, last pack of box 2. Nothing of note. The skirmish is a decent service. I think the winner gets a Blaze promo, no? My issue with skirmish, actually that's the other reason I'm kind of turned off playing at the moment. It's fucking LL format. All the shops I can go to are running LL. I'm not playing that format. I don't care what your opinion is. I will never play if Starvo's in the game. It's like, I already did that, and it was it was traumatic. So no. I actually refuse to support the format. Might seem salty from my part, but you won't catch me dead playing LL format. So 2 Blitz in Sydney. Then I'll have to try and come to those. I haven't looked at... I know our group chat has a list of all of them. I haven't looked at it. Also, I tend to go where my friends are going, so... when I figure out where... Dev is going, we more likely will carpool and go. But if it's LL format, I'll be staying home, playing the new Path of Exile. Wander with purpose. Actually haven't, like, we have a couple of Marvel codexes in the shop, but I haven't seen one, you know, like outside of a slab or a sleeve in a long time. There's still got to be some of the best looking cards ever made. Although I remember when they came out, I was saying I don't love them because they don't look like a fab card. And that's still true, but they're so unique. They're kind of cool. Shakedown is a nice hit. I'm trying to remember now, what happened with aim counters on Azalea? Is it the... Ooh, Codex. It's only inertia. Was it the Azalea Armory deck has a bunch of good stuff? Is that what I'm thinking of? That has like more aim counter support? Or synergies? Has that changed the way the deck plays a lot? Hey, we have a cold foil. Let's see what it is. Hey. Hey, this is a good one now. They've gone up in price. Van Brace. Are they still the only generic gloves in the game? Generic legendary gloves? No, they're not. There's the ones from Mistvale 2, right? Down and dirty. Floating dojo. Ooh, foil spinning wheel kick. Okay. Second last pack. What is this? Box 3. What a box, huh? So we've done 3 boxes, hit 4 legendaries. Can't complain about that. That's a nice hit. These foil weapons, I mean, in cold foil it's better, but the foil weapons are rarer than people think. They're always short printed because you only need 1 in a deck, so... Speaking of, 2 foil weapons in 1 box. Big hit. Of blood rot. Man, I remember when the codexes were like the non-foil ones were expensive. I think frailty probably still is, but so who's going to Sydney calling other than German? Hey, Herbert. Hey, cold foil incoming. Yeah. Threadbare tunic. A mess. That goes there. There we go. Nearly the end of box 4. Nothing. I mean, that box still had 2 foil majestics, so they both were weapons. Sorry about the sniffling. Opening all these boxes, the amount of dust. That's why. Hello, Jonathan. scalpel. I love how assassins have, I think, by far the most weapons in the game now. We're on box 5 and we have 4 legendaries, so yeah, so far so good. RF premeditates. Oh yeah, that's in this set. That's a big hit. We will keep an eye out for you. Where did the other rare go? Maybe I already put it down. Speaking of, just not a foil. Bros, you haven't sent me that list either. I haven't forgotten. Oh, infiltrate foil. Great hit. Let me make, you guys can see all this anyway, so. Octopus, I think so far so good. It's too early to tell. Easier to look at the end. Hit too many of these. Oh, that is a foil. It's so subtle. That goes there. I mean, the art direction looks phenomenal. Tails, like, is one of the prettiest sets. I think it just had its own like issues with. It's very pretty, and Earth and Lightning cards are very cool. And if anything, Fab's improved on their art. So I think just visually is going to be amazing to open. Also, doesn't it have like a crap load of Marvel? So, but it's, I don't know. Toxic Tips, cold foil. But MST will be hard to beat. But then I thought heavy hitters would be hard to beat, and you could probably say Mist Veil's better. But we'll open a whole bunch, and I mean, investment-wise, we bought more Rosetta than any other set in the past. So we also have a bunch of Tales of Aria to open alongside, which I got to get to very soon. That's, I mean, what? But that set's in September. We have a couple of months, but it's going to be a crazy month for us. Another Codex. I might have to nasal spray. It's gotten very dusty in here. Let me know if you want to see me nasal spray, or if I should do it off camera. I'll do a poll. Knives Out. I spoiled that card accidentally. Like, it hadn't been shown yet, and it got shown in the box I opened. Very cool looking card, but I don't think it's played at all. Seeker's Gillet. I do hate that this set has common rainbow foil equipment and cold foil. That was not great. Alrighty, cold foil. Is it? Nah, it's not. Just a common. Ooh, Merkmeyer Grapnels, they're worth money now. I hear. Last 3 packs. Foil Majestic. Might mute my mic and blow my nose. I'll be back in a sec. Are we back? Yes, we are. Oh man, you guys missed out on the ASMR. But I can breathe again. Alrighty, what are we? Box 8? I hope. Actually, it's probably box 6. Hey, another codex. Do my hands? Actually, I don't know if you can tell. This finger is completely busted right now. You see so my hands hurt now, but I don't I've shown this trick before. I can show you. So the way to open these without too much pressure is, see the perforations on the back? So if you just grip it tight and then pull, it does tear very easy, see? Like I'm not really using a lot of strength. I think if you open these the hard way, I wouldn't be able to open as much as I do. So I had to figure out how to open the pack without, or I'd be sitting here with scissors. But see, it does tear open very easy when you're welcome. There you go, you didn't know. I think they started with the crew packs that actually had a tear tab, but that was like pretty crappy one. But these do open, you just flip it and it tears. So I'm okay. It still sucks compared to paper packs, but is that a cold for legendary? It is. It's just a quiver. But cold for a quiver, so we'll take it. It's fine. But yeah, I imagine thousands more packs than most people, so I had to figure that out. Or my hands would never have survived. Tried to tell Saint how to open the packs. You guys see the the Saint and Card Guys / Alex Sneed drama? I've been thinking about making a video about that, but who knows? Maybe I could just stay out of it. But I like weighing in on drama. I should. I mean, I probably will. I just, obviously, I haven't even been streaming for a bit. So definitely haven't had time to make a video. I'm happy to share my take. Do people in here actually know what the short version of that story is? I can try and explain if people need the, preface. Let me know if you need to know what the hell I'm talking about before I give my opinion, and I will. Give me something to do for the next 2.5 hours. TLDR. Sand whale. TLDR. So, by the way, if you want the source for this, the first video, there's 3 bits of content you would need to get all the, and then I'll explain what they are. But so I can quote the sources. Video 1 is on the Fabled Hunters channel. Video 2 is unlisted, but you can find it by going on Twitter. Find Alex Sneed, and it's literally the top post on his Twitter feed. You can watch his video. Mind you, the Fabled Hunters videos are like an hour long each, so you'll have to be patient. And then the third video is back on Saint's channel on Foil Wonder with Purpose. So it's like here's my best recollection of what's happened. Saint on Fabled Hunters makes a video. He's talking about more general topics, but he makes a comment about Alex and doesn't really hide that he's talking about Alex, because I think he posts a screenshot of a conversation on as part of the video edit. This is gonna be hard to remember detail for detail, but the quick version is that Alex is selling a bunch of Arcane First Edition foils for more money than Saint believes it's worth. I think the price was like 1,500 on eBay. And Saint was saying those sets are worth like $400. And I think he was referencing like the market in general being slow, and then you have people like that potentially expecting prices to be what they used to be. More importantly, Saint says that Alex had tried to sell him this set, and he'd said no multiple times. And he called him, what did he call him? He called him a... I'm trying to remember the exact word, because I don't remember words in people's mouth, but he calls him a... Anyway, he calls him something rude. No, I can't remember the word. I don't know. Something like ignorant, but worse. No, before ingrate. He calls him something else. In this video, like as a passing comment. No, I know the ingrate comment. That came later. You guys... Jack-off, that's the one. He called him a jack-off, right? That's what he called him. A jack-off is correct. That's the first insult. So then Alex makes a video sort of responding to the jack-off comment. But what Alex does is he literally shows every text message between him and Saint, dating back years. Unfortunately, and you can tell that maybe Alex didn't think that through, Alex doxed his own address, right? But Alex also showed a text with Saint telling him that Saint's going through divorce, which was not public, right? So that pissed Saint off, and then Saint literally makes a video back with a lot more terms than Jackoff focused on Alex Sneed. I'm obviously skipping details, but that's what happened. By the way, this is all over Alex trying to sell some alpha cards and Saint saying no, and then being rude about it when Alex... you can interpret however you want if you go and read all this yourself, but Alex was maybe a little pushy or didn't let it go after like Saint had already shown that he's not interested, right? Here's my take. Also, is that enough info? Does anyone have questions that I need to fill in blanks? Because I really did skim through that. But yeah, the bullet points are: Saint calls Alex a jack-off. Alex doxes himself and publicizes Saint's divorce, which wasn't public. And then Saint makes a much more heated response video. Anyway, I'm not even going to give my opinion. I'm going to give you guys some tips as to what... Okay, I might have to give an opinion, but let me explain like a couple of things for you. I think let's call them faux pas, right? Small mistakes. Not on purpose. I think the biggest, the number one mistake, the miscommunication that happened was Alex assuming him and Saint are friends because Saint had been friendly to him. And you need to read between the lines here a little, but they clearly aren't friends when you read the conversations and how they talk about each other. But I think because Saint had been friendly, Alex was Alex thought they were friends. And I'll go a step further here. If you're in TCGs and you have an acquaintance that you talk about cards with, but nothing else, I would say that your acquaintance is not friends. If you haven't been to someone's house, met their partners, their family, you have any other connection outside of a hobby, I would not assume you're my friend. I think I have a lot of flesh and blood friends, but we're acquaintances and we're friends in the game, but we're not like... If you kept texting me or calling me, that would be, to me, crossing a line, because we're only friends in this little thing. Anyway, I think that's where Alex messed up a little, was he assumed... or he expected a more friendly Saint and didn't get it. But also, if you watch the videos and read the text messages, it's very clear that Saint was not interested. And this is like, I don't know how many people here are single or have dated recently, but this is like a good thing to know if you're trying to date. If someone ghosts you, they're saying no. If someone says no, I think if you're acquaintances and you have some rapport, I think you get like one chance like to double text, meaning like if it's a girl I'm interested in, I haven't dated in a while, but if it's a girl I'm interested in, I text and she usually responds quickly, and she doesn't. I give them the benefit of the doubt, and then I just wait, and then just so I can get some closure, I understand wanting to text and go, hey, is everything okay? Are you still interested? That's fine. Like that one-off, like, let's call it like a poke. I think you used to be able to wave or poke on Facebook. It's like that kind of thing, like a bit of a nudge. But if you read these messages, you can, to me, I could immediately tell Saint had no interest, and Alex was like more than double texting, right? Which seemed to get really on Saint's nerves and resulted in Saint literally telling him to fuck off, like in the text message. I'll tell you, because I can empathize a little with Saint, not justifying his behavior. I still, no matter what I say here, I don't think it's right to tell someone to fuck off. Like, you can also just ignore them. I've seen this, and I've seen it specifically happen to Saint. That's why I can relate a little. When you're like somebody in the Fab community, and I'm sure other collectible communities, that is known for being a whale, or known for having a particular interest or large buying potential for certain things, people do sometimes treat you with a little bit of entitlement. I'll give you another dating example. It's like meeting a girl that is a stripper, let's say. Some guys will just assume that that girl is more down to do things straight away. They're just assuming. Well, they're like, well, you show other people your body, so surely you'd show me yours. You know what I mean? That kind of entitlement, except it's about money. And what happens is, what happens to me too, people will sometimes talk to me as if it's shocking to them that I don't want to buy the stuff they're selling. It's potentially at a high price. Like, to the point I've literally had someone tell me, but you have the money, help me out. And that's extremely rude. Now, would I call you a jack-off and tell you to fuck off publicly? No. Is it right to have any entitlement when you're trying to sell something? No. Saint's money is most certainly his. He has complete agency over his decisions, and I think that's what really got under Saint's skin, is he felt that he was expected to buy it just because he's Saint and he buys stuff. And I think that really got under his skin. But also the glaring fucking... The thing that is so childish and silly about both sides here is the reason the divorce thing came up was Saint literally used it as an out. He's like, I'm literally getting divorced. This is the last thing on my mind. Fuck off. And that they kept going. Because also, like, if you're just talking to someone, even if you're trying to buy a fucking car or whatever, someone you don't know, a complete stranger's telling you, like, I'm going through a divorce, I don't have the mental capacity to even negotiate with you, leave them alone. Like, that's someone telling you to leave them alone. He literally even gave the real reason, which you didn't have to. And probably regrets doing now, because I don't think his divorce was public yet. Also, he's in the middle of a divorce. He's not divorced, so it's like the messy period, you know? He's stressed. I think you can also tell by... you can tell by the backgrounds on Saint's videos, he's not even home. So he's probably, like, moved out. He's moving. He's gone to another... Sith, none. Frailty, 0, I think. So anyway, I know it may sound like I'm siding with Saint. I'm just maybe can relate to that side more. But you know, the language he's using and stuff, you could tell he's very frustrated. And I think a lot of that comes with dealing with people that feel entitled to your money. Is like, I mean, again, the reason I made the example about like a girl is anyone has ever experienced someone feeling entitled to their time or money or anything because of X, it's just a shitty feeling. Especially if the person's like, maybe you think they're a friend and then suddenly they're being super entitled. Either way, that's my opinion is, number one, just in general, if you can tell someone's not interested, just stop talking. Like, or change the subject. So if you are friends and you can tell the person's clearly not interested in the fab conversation, but you think something's wrong, nothing wrong with checking in on them, but if you're trying to sell something and the person doesn't want to buy it, just leave it. Like immediately, like it doesn't need 10 more text messages to figure that out. Got a cold foil trench. And second, if someone's annoying you, just ignore them. Like also that's because Saint used the term, like, this is America and freedom of speech a lot in his video, which I laugh at because I'm not American. So that means nothing. Like, most of the world has freedom of speech, but Americans really harp on it. That goes both ways. Like, he's allowed to tell someone to fuck off, and other people are allowed to publicize it and take offense. And I mean, in certain cases, take you to court for saying the wrong thing. All I'm saying is, like, you have freedom of speech, but you also have freedom to say nothing, and it's usually the right thing to do if someone's pissing you off, which, again, actually happens to me more often than you think. I just don't respond. Also, I'm not trying to tell people not to sell me stuff, because that's one thought I had was it's a massive privilege. Rudolph, just rewind 10 minutes if you want to know. I won't repeat it, but there's been some drama. But yeah, if like, it's a big privilege being a somebody in the community. Saint definitely gets, you know, when I say special treatment, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he has a relationship with LSS. He's a content creator. He sponsors a bunch of players with the Runaways. So he's involved in the community. So the privilege of being known as someone who's a someone and potentially a whale comes with a lot of benefits, like a lot. So it comes with the negatives. Sometimes people treating you like they are entitled, but it comes with more benefits than negatives. So I wouldn't ever feel I needed to, like, tell someone to stop being entitled, because I still want people to approach me and assume that I'll buy their stuff, because that happens a lot, and I literally run a business based on buying people's collections. So I don't mind people feeling entitled or thinking I'll buy stuff. I just gently reject them. It is part of the position I put myself in. I make videos. I talk to James White and publish them. I show off my gold foils. Like, people know that I can afford their gold foils, so of course they're going to approach me, and that's sometimes a great thing. Sometimes I make money from that. Or I find cards quicker for me than you might find for you. Like, if I need a card, I probably can buy it quicker and for cheaper than most of you, because I have some privilege. I wouldn't ever feel like I needed to tell someone to fuck off because they treated me like I had privilege, if you know what I mean. I embrace it. Anyway. But yeah, the language used and stuff is also, like, gonna bite Saint in the ass, because there's, like, no reason to tell someone to fuck off ever. It just ghost them. Just block them. Because this wasn't like a two-way thing. It was someone trying to sell him something and he wasn't interested and didn't want to continue the conversation at all. You just walk away as well. But that's a subjective, personal thing. Like, not everyone feels that way with confrontation, so this clearly ended up escalating. But I do find it quite funny because it's extremely immature from both sides. Like, Alex really comes across as not taking social cues, and Saint comes across as arrogant, and all both of them need to do is shut up, and there'd be no problem. So, but yeah, that's my take. It's not something I would care to take sides on. I think the immaturity on both sides is like so glaring, it's hilarious. But I do understand Saint's frustration. Telling someone, I'm going through a divorce, I don't want this, literally like using the word no, like N-O, and then the person actually still messaging back is very weird behavior. Like, you're most certainly not entitled to Saint's time, which he's very happy to tell you if you try and act entitled to it. And to be fair, for the like size of company and what the man does, he is very responsive. You message him on Facebook, so like, here we go, nothing. So like, I think he's already more accessible than someone of his stature would normally be, and you shouldn't take that for granted. But yeah. Chris, I do genuinely like. It's not fake that he's very passionate about the game, right? So if it's Fab related, and I imagine if it's Magic related, he's more than happy to chat, and he's more than happy to consider buying your stuff most of the time. I mean, every time I've ever spoken to Saint about buying something, I think he said no. You know what I mean? Every time, like, because I think maybe my price expectation is higher than what he's used to paying for stuff, and that's completely fine. But I would consider him a friend. Like I said, mostly Fab, but Saint and I have spent time outside of Fab together, and we're not close, but we're friends, if that makes sense. I mean, he lives in a whole nother country, but when I see him, we're friends. We're on friendly terms. We are happy to hang out outside of just the game. And the reason I'm saying that is he's still only ever rejected me on deals most of the time, and I've never pushed, so I've never had a bad experience with him. And to be fair, I have done deals with Alex, I believe, and I've also never had a problem. But like I started this with, I think Alex assumed they were friends, and maybe they're not. Well, I think it's clear that they're not friends. I think they're acquaintances. Also, it is interesting, a little point that might have some weight in this drama is that Alex won an Arcane Rising first edition box from Saint for free. That's how their communication started, which is weird when you're trying to sell him back some Arcane Rising first edition foils. I think that's like a small little detail, but I thought it was funny. Anyway, how many of you have tuned out? How many we're doing 9. I believe it's 9 cases. 9 cases and 2 boxes, something like that. But I'll know when the table near me is empty. You guys can see it. I'm just taking boxes from. Gore Belching is a cool card. I don't think it sees a lot of play. Was the original idea that it might have been the Levia card? I can't remember. Yeah, with Rouse. There is a loop, right, with Gore Belching. Is it being the only attack in the deck? Oh no, yeah, running Rouse with it so that it finds it and it comes in for 7, right? Let me. Hobby money. This isn't just hobby money, Soul. It's flukenbox.com. We're a single shop. And we are very busy selling singles, so we need more stock, and someone sold us more stock. So yeah, we bought out a shop that was wanting to liquidate their flesh and blood. So we bought 500 boxes off them, and we can't sell sealed boxes, nor do we want to in this case. We're just trying to stock up on singles, and we get some content for the channel. So is it hobby money? Yeah, but I'm not doing this for personal reasons, let me tell you. This is very much going on the shop. Was it Good Games? No, it was Games Cube. They haven't been running Fab events for a while now. I think like the Fab scene there was pretty good. I think all the new games came out, I think including Lorcana, roughly around. So One Piece chewed up a lot of the player base and literal like store real estate. And then Fall Dishonor is a good hit. I don't think they could fit everything, and also people literally stopped coming after they changed their Armory night from Thursday to Tuesday. There's a few reasons why that shop doesn't want to do Fab anymore, but yeah. Hopefully they change their mind one day, but to be fair, they were also sitting on a lot of stock that wasn't selling, so I can appreciate wanting to liquidate. Yeah, I remember someone telling me to put Gore Belching Rouse in my Dory deck, but I don't know. Doesn't feel great. I think E-Strike feels better still. You can fix some pretty bad hands, or at least just do a 2-card 7, which was a really good tech card into Oldham. The only time I ever beat Oldham was running Fandle's Fighting Spirits, Wounded Bulls, and E-Strike, just so that I could block and come in for 7. And I'm trying to remember if I fatigued the Oldhams, or it was just there was enough damage to get to that point where they fatigue to the damage, like they have to block everything. Oh, that's funny, Brendan. Because, yeah, it comes in for 0, right? Does it come in for 0 if it fails? This attacks reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal an attack action. If you do. Okay, so if there's no attack action, it doesn't work. Yeah, -7. Well, I guess it still says shuffle, which sometimes is good, right? If you're not Mystic. Is this the only, like, generic shuffle card? Generic shuffle card that you can raise a reflex to give go again and +3. Think about that. There's other shuffles. Belittle. Okay, that's what I'm asking. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what else is a generic shuffle card. But yes, Belittle makes sense. I mean, you can't say Moonwish because no one plays it. Yeah, 10 go agains are not bad. But those things never work. Like, Razor Reflex isn't going to go well in your Dory deck. You know what I mean? Knick-knack. I think the real tech for Dory, one of the best I've ever used was the one of blue pummel. Like, that does work. Whether you run nourishing, whether you run like CNC and stuff. Yeah, the one blue pummel puts in work. You definitely just win games with it. It was great with the Codex of Frailty. It was great with the dash meta. Erase face pummel was like, or in some cases Command and Conquer pummel was just so tempo swinging, it was crazy. Yes, correct. So if your opponent's paying attention and you pitch, to be fair, it's not against the rules to tell your opponent, oh, I'm pitching a blue pummel, like say it out loud. You do kind of live rent-free in their head. The only issue is a good player is just going to ignore you. Like, a good player will just play the board and forget. Is Codex the highest price Majestic? Surely, surely it's a newer card. Pursuit of Knowledge pummel's a nice target. I really, really hoped that Enigma would play Pursuit of Knowledge. Hey, another Codex. Unfortunately, haven't seen it in many lists. I love that card. I think, what was the last time it was actively played was probably in Dromai Mirrors. It's a really good number to hit a Dromai Dragon with, because I think 4 takes care of all the dragons except Tomultai. And it does trigger, so it's a great, yeah, it's a great finisher. Hey, Hamel. Yeah, I mean, on new, being able to give Pursuit go again is great. Forbidden Fruit. Mate, I got pillars of boxes in my office. They just all need to go. You should see how big the Monarch pillars are. Holy crap. I don't think I actually want to be bothered streaming Monarch on Limb. Like, maybe I'll be excited about it because there'll be a new Light Shadow set, but it does not get me excited, that's for sure. Just doing something on my phone while I can. Done. Oh wait, where are we? Pursuit is 2 block, unfortunately. Hey, Devon. Man, if I knew you were awake, I probably wouldn't be streaming. If Pursuit was a 3 block, it would probably be in every deck ever. I don't think you could. But I mean, by the way, that would be a great idea. I would be very much for like blues that are not freaking warmongers, you know, being staples. But so Devon bought me Risk of Rain 2, and I've been kind of addicted. Hey, Afik. Yeah, I think Pursuit would be literally in every deck if it blocked for 3. It'd be silly. Like, it's not quite a Command and Conquer, but anytime it hits is... I mean, think of it this way. You're running Balance of Justice because you get card advantage sometimes. Having three possibilities, guaranteed possibility if there's like an ally on the board, like an angel on Prism, too strong. But I'm all for it. I would. Well, 3 for 4 is a whole different thing, you know. 1 resource is a lot. But yeah, I want to run Pursuit on Enigma. I think the issue on Enigma is I don't know if like having a bigger hand is always a good thing, because it's hard to play out her cards. Like having 5 cards that don't block doesn't really help you, you know? Foil Infiltrate. Yes, correct. The numbers, like 2 costs works really well with a pummel. All right, more commons. Fluke and mini box. Nah, there's only 1 box. All right, where are we? It should be Fluke and too many boxes. That's what it should be. I don't. Maybe we won't. I don't know if we'll see that many generics in the next set. I mean, it's Wizard, Runeblade. Both traditionally don't play that many generics. So maybe expansion slot, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's very few generics in the next set. Like Uzuri can afford to play a lot of generics the way the hero ability works. Same as like most Guardians. Another Frailty. I think that's number 2. No Marvels yet. Expansion slot generics. I'm trying to think. Oops. No, I guess they don't need to be in the expansion slot, right? Because generics can be played that set. If you think about it, expansion slot usually is not playable. I mean, Tunic, sure, but I'm talking about like 2 for 6 generics. I mean, it makes sense for them to be main set, yes. These packs are not opening well. Freewheeling. Man, I've seen a bunch of the foil traps, which are nice. Right, here's a cold foil. We could... Nah, we're not in the money. Although, like, not complaining about a cold foil nerve scalpel. That is a good hit. Not a marvel, though. Yeah, cold foil daggers are very nice. I mean, it's the first one we've hit in, like, well, a lot of boxes, like 10 or 11 now. What are the main played ones? I mean, New plays the Mistveil ones. Am I coming to Tampa? No. I mean, I want to because I hear Rudy will probably be there. But we have, like, the Sydney callings that week, man. And I'm vending that. I don't see how I'm supposed to open all the product and do Sydney calling on release and still get to Tampa. So more than likely, no. Yeah, it's 2 weeks after Tampa, but that's the 2 weeks that we have to, you know, get stock ready for the event. Also, remember, it's like a massive international flight for me, so Van Brace rainbow foil. So I'm adding in like recovery time from traveling 50 hours or whatever it takes round trip to the US. We have more cold for legendaries than rainbow right now. Go by sea. Yeah. I mean, I think that takes months. If only Australia wasn't an island. Brendan, are you going to be at the Melbourne Battle Harden? Is that what you're talking about? Also, Sydney's going to be crazy because it's calling, but it's launch. It's the literal launch of the new set is that weekend. So, it's going to be really crazy to see even like how we go, because I imagine the demand for singles is going to be pretty nutty. Which is, again, why we hopefully get... This could have been so good, but it's just an inertia rainbow. Hopefully they'll let us get the stock early enough so that we can open it and sort it. But, yeah, I'm assuming they won't. Well, Hammer, I think our system's different to yours because it is all online. So we just need to put the stock online. I think potentially we'd turn off pre-orders and then list the stock the morning of the event. And if people order it online, they can come pick it up. Otherwise, like, first come, first serve. I think pre-orders will just kill us because we obviously sell a lot internationally, and if it all goes internationally, then no one at the event's going to have any cards. It's a problem I don't have to deal with just yet, but also we're probably going to have to take a lot of unsorted bulk, which is fine, and do pick bins for people for their commons and rares and foils. That'll be I think, the goal. But it also, I know it's a limited event, so like I don't think people need it for the main event of the calling anyway. If anything, they'll be selling us cards that they pull, but I don't know what side events we'll be running, and I assume some of them are constructed. The Battle Hunt in Sydney, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Oh, it's fucking Rune Blades too. People will be buying the cards, even if it's just for their Viscerai deck. Like, you know, You're not going to escape. But either way, it'll be fun. The hype will be crazy. And for us, it more or less guarantees we'll sell out of the set and the stock. So what did I miss there? It's like I missed a foil. There must be a rare in here somewhere. Surely. Yeah, it is on the end. Yeah, another Sonata for Viz that doesn't... Look, to be fair, no one wants Viz to be S tier. Like, you don't. Viz did have his moment in the sun. Third Codex of Frailty. But getting slapped with 25 rune chance turn 0 is just not a thing I want to ever see again in my life. It's bad enough that wizards do it. A cold foil. Okay. We'll take that. I'm putting them in the legendary pile because they are just as rare. Did I put a... No, I didn't. Yeah, I think the foreign language thing isn't really going to catch on in Fab. Like, you will have some people really wanting the different languages, but overall it's not something we... Like, we bought, I think it was 10 cases, and I think we still have most of the singles. Maybe the high end's gone, but that's it. So it's not something we would actively want to do again. I was offered some heavy hitters. Like, it's interesting, maybe fun to open, but... Yeah, we're vending Battleheart in Melbourne. For sure. Codexes are great. I hope we hit a couple of Plague Hives. They always sell when we have them. It's still a playable Fable, which is nice. Premeditates would be nice. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 non-foils so far. Amnesia's not bad, yeah. Also, at any point, speaking of, at any point they make a ranger or an assassin that plays off, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Bloodrot based assassin as an example, where if your opponent controls Bloodrot, this happens. And that's where the codexes will really shine. I always expected that that's something they will do, where the hero itself is based around one of the three, one of those three tokens, instead of all three. Like a blood rot, pox assassin would be quite cool. So you're like trying to slowly bleed your enemy out. Smack. I've been over this story a few times. I'll give you the summary. I had booked a holiday for my birthday. I think it was 2021 July, and then we had a snap lockdown for COVID, and so my holiday got cancelled. I got a refund, and I'd watched a Rudy video opening a Crucible First Ed box. And I think that was the box he hit Shiana and a shard maybe, or something like that. And so I wanted to find one, and I think it ended up being roughly the same price as the holiday. It was like 2,000 Australian dollars or something. So I opened my crew box, and so I was doing this very much as like a gambling / collector exercise at the time. And I hit a Shiana, and I think like some store had it for like 8,000 USD, a Shiana. So I was like, holy crap, that was a lot of profit. So I opened a bunch more. I opened a bunch of Monarch. I think Tails came out not long after I did that. And then I bought alpha boxes, and one of the people that I bought from was like, can you please like send me a picture after you open this, or take a video while you open it? I've been sitting on it since launch, and I really want to know what was in it. Here we go. Cold foil, man, trash. Yeah, so that was like how the YouTube thing started. I was like, oh, if people want to watch these openings, I'll do them. I think my first YouTube unboxings were Tails, I think, if I remember correctly, or maybe I started with a couple of Unlim crew or something. But yeah. And then like the shop I bought some product from are friends with Tall Timmy. And they said, oh, he's local and he has a YouTube channel for Fab. And I noticed his channel was more playing the game. And I noticed he was at some stores that were close to me, so I reached out, and he we made a video together. I built a Dory deck and then started playing. But I had like bought off everyone before I started playing. Hayden, Nick, all the big name Fab people in Sydney that started. Well, Devin, you gotta ask to know, you know. You can reach out to him. I think his Facebook's still active. If you know his, you can reach out to me privately, and I'll send you his Facebook. I'm not personally in touch with him, but he's around. This is actually a really good card. It's like undervalued. Very good into Riptide, actually. Actually, last I heard, Tall Timmy was, I think he's in Europe on a family holiday, or was. Yeah. Is, I don't know. It was secondhand information. Hey, another codex. I'm actually don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I don't think there's any issues with me saying it. I am writing an article for Collector Week. I won't tell you the topic. You can wait. It's obviously about collecting. But I while thinking about what the hell to write, I figured that there's like 3 types of collectors. People that collect to play, people that collect for profit, and people that collect for pleasure. And we're all some mixture of those 3. I don't think anyone's like a purist. They're doing a lot. I think they also recently released some lore. Devin, that's literally the phrase I used. That we're all in different places on that spectrum. Correct. And I actually think it's unhealthy to try and only be one of them. I don't think you get a full. I don't think you get the full experience sticking to just one as a purist. I don't think I've ever met a purist, to be fair. Like, yes, I've met some people that like play with the lowest rarity possible, but most of those people are actually limited by resources, not by passion, if that makes sense. No, Rudy's definitely not a purist. I think Rudy does collecting for profit and pleasure. I think he does both. I think he would have cards he will never sell. But I think he also buys cards low and sells high, or holds on to them in the hope that they will sell high one day. Yeah. No. So the game is, but I think there's people on the spectrum that are on the side of collecting only for profit and pleasure, and that's Rudy. I don't even know. I know he has played the game, like he's probably played the Ira deck, but he's definitely not an active player. And I don't think he collects anything with the purpose of playing with it. So he's Adrian is 100% on the spectrum. But it's a cool topic. I'm enjoying writing about it. We'll see. Well, that's the argument, right, Devin? Like, why choose TCGs if it's pure profit? Like, why not just play the stock market? But funnily enough, one of the main tips for investing in the stock market for beginners is to invest in things you use yourself, meaning you're passionate about. So if you consume a certain, like if you drink Coke, it's a good stock for you to buy into because you are bought into the brand. And I think TCGs are the same. They're an okay investment vehicle, but not if it's purely for profit, no. Because the people that are actually passionate about Fab know more than you do and can make more money about it, like following the meta, etc. Yeah, these are all points in the article, Devin. You're basically writing it for me. But I think if you ever want to make money in Fab, you very much have to play the game. You have to. I mean, first of all, you can. There's plenty of. Ooh, here we go. Haven't seen a legendary in a while. Rainbow Fall Shroud. I think if you talk to Pablo Pintor, I think he's going positive on the game investment wise. You know, because he played and won. So if you are good enough. A really good way to collect cards is to become very good at the game. Very, very good at the game means you'll probably make more money than the average collector anyway, because, I mean, there's people that had more than one gold foil tunic. You know what I mean? It's pretty good profit if you held on to them. Anyone that's won a calling is doing very well on the investment side. Here's another gold foil. think, is this the played one? It might be. I mean, if we're talking about how much money you should put in, which is not how my article's being written, because it's not investment advice. If you're putting in any more than like 20% of the money you have to invest in cardboard, you're probably an idiot. No offense, but definitely you shouldn't be. Same as crypto. There's such volatile. But I also think you're an idiot if you put all of your money in property instead of diversifying there as well. So yeah, sports cards is a good example. Like, although the investor market in sports cards, it's look, 35% is not going to kill you, but you get what I'm saying. If you, by the way, I'm not saying how much money you spend on the hobby. Spend as much as you want. I'm saying how much money you're investing. Like, if you're trying to grow that money, it shouldn't be a lot of your total amount you can invest for money. You're supposed to have play money as well. And if you're buying cards to just have fun or boxes, that's a whole different conversation. Invest in cracked baubles. Look, I've done that and I've made money on cracked baubles. I graded a bunch of alpha ones and oh, we got some clumping. That was like 3 packs apart too. Separate box, but Rob, I'm sure we have more. I think we gave a bunch. I'm trying to remember who wanted them for a project. Wait, was it the same Cold Fall as well? No, Many Faces and never mind, it's not. Adrian, we do that for the shop. If you look at our live box breaks and a new set comes, we grade most of the top end hits. We did that. I mean, wouldn't that be great, Rob? It makes a lot of sense. Make baubles worth 1 ticket, as an example, at events, or 10 tickets. We graded the Marvel Enigma, the New Moon Enigma, the one that is 1 of 100. And that probably gave it a good 35% more value when we sold it, because it graded really well. Maybe more, maybe like 50% more, because it got a 10. Not a quad 10, but... So I think grading for profit is a good idea. But you also got to know what you're doing there, because grading has a cost itself. So it was a... 9.5 quad plus. So 2 10s, 2 9.5s. So gem mint, yeah. New player slabs. No, I heard they're supposed to be ready for Worlds. I'm not involved in that conversation, so I know more or less what you know, but I think that's what Matt Rogers said publicly. The issue though is it's so annoying, because we already had the issue of going from regular slabs to player, right? So some of us submitted hundreds of cards, and we had to pay. Like, no one regraded cards for us for free, right? Or not regraded, reslabbed. Now you're going to have to pay again. So imagine having the same card graded or submitted 3 times. It's annoying that the US branch, yeah, I mean, Rudy owns it, and I don't know how many staff they have, if they have any, but he's not notorious for customer service or communication. Like, that's not why people deal with him. So I wasn't a fan of him being the guy. I think you need someone a bit more hands-on with the community. Like, obviously, Rudy has his own community, but if you're going to run a grading company, you need to be... Rebe, I don't know how to say your name. There was one. I think the count was like 13. Yeah, so you can go Livia Prima and see all of her artist proofs, but I don't think we've seen them in public all yet. I hope Federico has a photo of all 10, because maybe he just never thought to take a photo of all of them together. Actually, I have his manager on my... Oh, no, it's not the label, Chris. It's the thickness. The thickness is like a third. So currently the player slabs are roughly the size of 3 mini snaps. So they'll be... inside jokes all the way. Yeah, I have Federico's manager on my contacts. I might text him, see if he'll share a photo with us. I feel like they would. I don't think they would shy away from sharing that at all. Amsterdam, no. I wanted to, but it's too much going on. Also, I used to be able to fund my travel by selling cards, right? Personally. The issue is the high end is like I still make money selling cards. We have the shop, but the high end, which used to be like I only needed to sell 2 or 3 high end cards, and the profit from them would fund a trip to Amsterdam. That's really, really slowed down. So till that's picked back up, I can't just fly there to have fun. You know, it always needed to be somewhat offset by the profit I would make. Chris, you won't be able to post it in the chat. I don't think YouTube lets you post links. I was going to say to Adrian, next big... I mean, I'm going to Worlds in Osaka. I'll definitely be there. Otherwise, if you're in Australia, I'll be at the Melbourne and Sydney events. Vending them, so you can order stuff and pick it up. It's a nice hit. Foil Amnesia. Or you can just come by and say hi. Yeah, YouTube does filter links. I mean, you can find a fancy way to type the link, Chris, if you want. But people can find Livia on Twitter, and I think she has a Facebook. Cold foil. Man, just want one marble. Can't be that hard, surely. Actually, I need to figure out, maybe James White wants to do another chat in Osaka. That would be very interesting, because I'm sure they'll have some spicy news for 2025. Brendan, they are very rare. I mean, it's not per 20 cases, no. Hemel might know that it's the number, but I think it's 5 cases, so 20 boxes. Federico is extremely talented. He's easily one of the best artists that makes Flesh and Blood art, that's for sure. Luke, we've always had grading on the website. Always. It's always there. We're actually in the middle of installing a plugin for Shopify that actually like tells people after they order from us that they can come back and add grading, etc. But it's always there. It's not going anywhere. And we're priced the same. You just usually get it quicker from us because we submit a lot and often. Hey, floating dojo. Luke, so I mean, I'll tell everyone this. If you're going to submit to grading, whether it's through us or direct to a grading company, penny sleeves. So you'll see this is a penny sleeve. See how it has like room on the sides? It's not tight. Penny sleeve, put it in a grading top loader, which I can't grab right now. Ideally, that's the best way. Otherwise, we'll do it for you if you send them any other way. And in a perfect world, you send us a complete list. So the card name, its foiling, and the card number, I think, would be the main thing. So if it's like if it's this, it's a cold foil blade cuff, right? Because if we have a list in the comment of your order, it helps us keep track of everything. Otherwise, we're making the list when we get the order. Chris, correct. The soft ones, the non-rigid ones. I'll even show you guys why. I can see one here. I'll grab it out. I thought I had. There they are. All right, so it's these, right? See, they're like the bendy ones. The reason is, once it's in there, it doesn't move around. Like if you drop it, you can't damage an edge. And actually, they will grade mostly through this without taking the card out. So it's like less handling. Because see, you can, with the right lighting, you can see everything you need to see about the card without touching it. Semis are not expensive. If you drop off to any of these grading companies in person, I don't know like if all of them allow that, but PCG in Sydney, they'll give you some when you're submitting if you want them. They're used, but whatever. That's why you use these and not like a normal top loader. A rigid one, the card will smack against the wall of the rigid top loader, and if it's also in a tight sleeve, you can just damage the corners while it's in there. And remember, like, a lot of the times you're shipping this, right? It's different storing it in your own backpack, but if you're putting this in the mail, it's going to get knocked around. So, penny sleeves, semi-rigids. There's no other way to do it. I mean, also, go on any of the grading websites, PSA, Beckett, look at their guides, it's all the same. So there is a way to submit them, there's a way to store them, that's the way. Hello, Calvin M. Hey, another pre-med. 0 foils. Oh, whoops. It's a big earthquake to my desk. Any frailties? Not foils. We have 3 or 4 non-foils though. I'll put those on the shop, I think, tomorrow. You guys remember when they showed off this art and people assumed that was the hero? The Wreck Havoc art. This is like the 10th pack with the Kodachi on the back. Just FYI. I've been... Yeah, Codex Marvels are very... Alright, here we go. Is this a code? No, it's not a... You can actually immediately tell if it's a Marvel too. Because it's full bleed, but... Death Touch. Inertia. We have a Rainbow Legendary. Vambrace. I think the outside of Marvels, funnily enough, got very like negative reception at the very start. But it's like the pricing's still crazy on them, especially Frailty. Last pack from this box. So I think 18 boxes left. Roughly halfway. Might need to either end the stream a little early or go a little faster. I'll start by going faster, see how we end up going. I didn't love them at the start, Carl. They just didn't look like Flesh and Blood cards, you know? They've kind of grown on me. I think the art is very cool. The fact that the cold foiling... Here we go, is this... No, just another common. The cold foiling is like red. It's like blood. It's very cool. It just doesn't fit for some reason. But then they've gone and done like manga art, so that also to me doesn't fit, but it's still cool. And it's horses for courses. It's not, it doesn't all have to appeal to me. the thing is, we don't necessarily see the direct feedback to LSS, but I'm sure they can. Hey, another van brace. I think LSS would see box sales and stuff and have a good idea of whether a set sells well or not. And they probably do. Oops. Like for Bright Lights, they definitely heard the feedback on the Marvels that people weren't happy, which is fair enough. But this set, I don't think it's super negative anymore. I think it's actually kind of cool now that they're so unique. I don't think they need to be readable. If it's a Marvel, I think it can have no text and people can go off the art, or like, do you need to read Codex of Frailty, the text? I think if you play the game, you would probably know exactly what it does. Bright Lights, yeah, Bright Lights could have been amazing. Just one side full art would have been enough. I don't agree with the adult heroes needing to be tokens at all. Like, they literally are $1 most of the time, so their rarity is like irrelevant. Like, we sell them for maybe $5 USD for pre-orders, and then they usually just drop in price, especially if the hero's not big in the meta. So like, I think they're just majestic rarity so that you don't have like 50, 100 of them every time you open a case. And to make them kind of cooler, but yeah, they don't really they don't take up a majestic slot that they would have put any other card in, correct? Yeah, but like, I would hate it more if they had a different like rarity symbol, you know? Yeah, see, I would hate more if they just added super rares. Like, I would hate it. Like, why are we dealing with another rarity symbol? Also, like, it's I don't know what it affects. It doesn't affect anything. Like, if you're saying you want to see more majestics, fine. That's an argument you can have. I don't know. Like, the only reason I feel like it should be an argument is if they were super rare, like, as in, sorry, they were rare to get and they were expensive, but they're not. Sure, you might open a whole case and not get a single adult hero, but you can buy one for $1. And I'm sure in your case you got another majestic that's worth more than the hero that you want, and just trade for it. Like, I still think the most majestics we ever have in a set left over are the heroes. So well, look, I guess let me rephrase it. If you're opening boxes with any sort of preconceived goal of what you're getting, that's not the way you should open. But like, there's no way you should open a box wanting to get a specific majestic. It just doesn't work. Like, you can name any majestic, and I know you're saying that the hero should be easier to get, but I don't know what the ratio is, how many boxes you need to open to get all of the heroes in a set, but to be fair, the heroes are usually promos, so the last set, you could get rainbow foil of all the heroes in... Was it adult? I'm trying to remember now if it's been adult in this case, but it's usually not hard to get like a promo version of the hero. Blood rot. But I mean, that's my opinion. I've heard plenty of people saying that they don't like the majestic rarity, so I wouldn't be surprised if they change it. But yeah, you can, like, you literally just had to go to a calling and get the adult heroes in rainbow foil. Some heroes are missing, yeah. But what that does is it kind of changes what the rarest version of each hero is. You know? Here we go, cold fall time. Can we hit a Marvel? No, we can't. Not today. Actually wonder if we'll see one at all. We're not opening quite that many boxes anyway. Yeah, the problem with using the young hero in tournaments is some judges still won't let you, even if James said that in a video. So be careful. All those tokens are gone. Boxes left. I might be doing the math strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 16. 17 including this one. Alright, cold fall early. Come on. No. No, no, no. The Fab gods do not want us happy today. So we haven't hit a Fable, we haven't hit an extended EA, we haven't hit a Marvel. So I'd like all three, but many boxes? I think we're halfway, Hemel. A little bit past halfway. I think I started at 38 boxes. Thanks, John, I guess. I don't know what I did that's crazy. This is just work, you know. It's fun, but it's just stock. Unfortunately, though. I mean, also when I say unfortunately, I'm happy to do it, but all these boxes have to be open. Extended art RFs. Good question. Are there any? No. Are there any? I don't think so. I think most of the RFs in this set, there's a lot of Rainbow Foil promos. I think all the laces, all that. Spikes, laces, traps, they all come in Rainbow Foil promo extended arts, I believe. That's right. There's the Cold Foil Shuriken. Just such a weird card to give that treatment since it's like not played at all. Maybe they didn't know that. But this does have very rare extended art Cold Foil legendaries. They're hard. They're severely underpriced for how hard it is to get. Hey, you see, you just have to complain enough. Rainbow Foil, but we'll take it. Rainbow Foil Fable. Yeah, so this set wasn't fun to open because there's so many rarities. Like, it's... You know, you hit a Rainbow Foil Legendary in this set, it always felt bad because there were two better versions of it. A bit like hitting a Rainbow Foil Emperor, it just feels bad. To be fair, I feel like that's what happened with the gold packs now as well. You know it's a Rainbow Foil hero that is worth $10. It doesn't feel good, you know? It's a weird problem to have because there's such cool ideas, but I feel like if the gold packs were more like a judge pack where there was like a 8-card pool or something, it would feel better. There's more like of the gambler's premium. Codex of Bloodroot. All right. I know LSS will listen. Like, they're not... The thing with LSS, which is a good thing, is they're not afraid to take risks and they're not afraid to experiment. That's what you want. And it's our job, I feel, is to just give feedback and try not to be harsh with it, but... Also, their own staff open boxes, so I'm sure they know it feels bad. You know? It was great for initial hype, but didn't maintain the hype. Which is what you want when you hit like a 1 in whatever it was, 20 bucks thing. It's not just the monetary value, by the way. It's, although that's a big part of it, it also just, it is that you know exactly what's in it. And if you know exactly what's in it, why did they put it in a sealed pack? Like, why not just have it in a cellophane pack? You know what I mean? So, like how you get your promos at events. That would have made more sense to me. If it's just like a box topper that's see-through because it's all the same. But there's no incentive to opening those packs. There's no real premium. I don't get a gold pack is off the table. Really? Gold pack and EA legendaries were together? I didn't hear that at all. Was that a Belgian print thing? Yeah, but Luke, the problem with the 1 in 100 is such an obscure chance, right? That, you know, you've got channels out there that open 20 envelopes in a row, got all the same card. It makes for very, very boring watching, and just in general, seeing 20 of the same card on someone's desk really does reduce the value of that card. Like, it just does. Yeah, I didn't think there was any correlation. I mean, not, I didn't pick up on any. Sure, Luke, I see what you're saying, but then they could have made it when it's a gold pack, you know it's the Marvel one. You know what I mean? Like, there could have been a clear box topper thing, which is cool. Here we go. Cold foil, not a Marvel. Ugh. Either way, though, it's they get it right more often than they get it wrong. So I'm always happy. Most if not all Flesh and Blood sets are very, very good to open. A couple of exceptions, but it's overall. I think, like, funnily enough, Crucible of War is probably the worst set to open. It's boring. And if you think of that as a starting point, they've done very well over time. Ovolt, I think it's 38 boxes, and we're on, like, we're past the halfway mark. I have literally 16 boxes left, so... just under 10 cases is the total. Do you think crew is why they stopped doing subsets? No. I think the reason they stopped doing subsets is they wanted 3 draft sets. So you got to think this way. When they do a subset, it's not draftable. So they actually have to cut the print run to a smaller amount because none of it gets eaten up in limited events. None of it gets eaten up people drafting in store. So I think it's just a business decision. They want 3 draft sets a year and they want to turn it into 4 soon. Ovolt, no, there was a couple of loose boxes, but it was mainly sealed cases. Yeah, Ed, there are a bunch of staples in crew you can't get elsewhere. It's still a crappy set to open. Like, it's a set with pretty much only 1 legendary, and the Fable is not 1 in 40 boxes. Correct. And remember, one of those legendaries is a non-foil tunic, which, I mean, it's not a terrible thing to open, but it's very boring. You know, no one gets that excited seeing a non-foil tunic. And to be fair, no one gets excited to see a Shiana anymore. Blitz is very much not the main format, and it's not really a good hero. Same as Emperor, same as Enigma New Moon. They're just not. These, like, Blitz only heroes don't seem to have juice. So yeah, it's just, again, I mean, some people might love it. I think First Ed Crew was more fun because the cold foils were rare or majestic, and you had the EA twinning art as like the marvel of the set. Emperor is decent, but it's still, like, pricing wise worth nothing. Unless you had a Marvel Emperor, there's no money in the card. So you can say it's good in Blitz, but the demand for the card is so low, it's sort of irrelevant. Because, like we talked about before, this correlation with all of this playability, how strong something is in the meta, but also how much it's worth on the secondary market plays a big part. Arcane Rising is the best right now? No, not even close. For EV, you mean? No. I don't know, but I think Everfest would probably still be closer to the best EV, but potentially it's Mistveil. Well, there's a good example, right? RF Emperor's 2 boss coffees. I like that. Yeah. Everfest, which I have like 20 cases of here to still open. But to be fair, we've opened a lot of Everfest. It's just, it's got so many staples. That's Till Dawn. It is probably decent, yeah. And funnily enough, Everfest has a lot of dead cards. Like the Fables, not great. The Legendaries are not great. Stalagmite and Silver Palms, like, but it's all the Majestics, and all of them are like $10 to $40, I think. And you get 10 per box, so... Well, I shouldn't say 10. I'm talking AUD. But I don't... There's obviously a couple of bad Majestics in that set, like Cash Out and blah, 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 but... Hey, nothing wrong with a couple of Sand Scours. Foil Red Humble. Not bad. Codex. What's the... Is that cold foil count? Or am I missing something? Codex of Frailty count. If that's what you mean, I think we're at like 4 non-foils. That's it. Carl, I don't know how accessible DTD still is. I guess it depends what region, but I don't think stores or the distributor in like our region have any left. We managed to get a bunch because this store had a bunch and wasn't selling it, but I don't know if there's a lot of it left. Wrong pile. Also, I feel like if you can get Dust Till Dawn, it's not the worst sealed box investment, knowing that you can get your hands on that the new Monarch set will eventually come out. Like, they have announced and confirmed there'll be a 3rd Light and Shadow Monarch set, basically. So Dust Till Dawn was number 2. At some point, there's number 3. So if you have some of that stock, when they announce that set, those boxes will spike. The singles will spike. Couldn't tell you for how long or which cards, but it happened with Monarch at the time. Last pack cold foil. Not a Marvel. Nothing good. Man. How hard can it be? I haven't seen a cold foil hit in a while. We got that Orbiter class like half an hour ago. Yeah, I said this before, Arx. I have no interest going to an LL event ever. It's never gonna happen. It's also quickly, it's a cold foil pack because in this set, if there's a bauble, I'll show you on the next one, Michael, but if there's a bobble, meaning you can't, it's not a double-sided token, it is the cold foil. Every single one have it. So see, that's a token, so this doesn't have a cold foil in it. So you can actually tell right away. Don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It kind of, when we were drafting and stuff in this set, it was kind of hype to know that you were going to see a cold foil, but it's only in outsiders. See, double-sided token on the back, no cold foil. So see, I know that's a bobble because it's the only non-double-sided token. And then the card right above it will be cold foil. I guess it's just the way they packed this set. What's the other set? Is it Bright Lights that the bottom left pack always had the foil majestic of the box? It's like clockwork. Unfortunately for us, it was always like one of 3 rainbow foil majestics and not actually random. I mean, Monarch and previous sets were all weighable. Some of those issues are Japanese only, not all. I was surprised to find out there was Belgian print Monarch Unlim. Actually, wait, that's funny because all of our Monarch Unlim here is Belgium. I just noticed it's old stock. It's kind of cool. Same as WTR Unlim, there's Japanese and Belgian print. The Belgian print actually has drone in it, while the Japanese print doesn't. Yeah, correct. So I think Belgian print has the wrong text on it, or the old text. Hey, we have another Van Brace. Not complaining either. These are, I think, sort of had a bit of a comeback. So we'll take them. That was what's weird when they took drone out, was it was still, then they did draft the farewell events, and yeah, it didn't have drone in it, which is a staple of that format's draft. But maybe they didn't expect to do a farewell event with that stock. That's not a bad hit. Value between the E-strikes? No. I would imagine the Belgian one is rarer. The problem with them is some people that have two insist on, like, if they're finishing their playset, they want a specific one. So if anything, there's probably a benefit in having 3 Belgian ones or 3 Japanese ones together as a set when you're selling. But I don't think there's a difference in price. I don't think there's even like a different listing on TCG Player or anything. But I imagine the Belgian one is rarer. Because there was way more Japanese print of that stock. Belgium Outsiders. It's just still very strange to me that they focus on limited play so much, yet they print 2 different types of collation. And I know that there's a like technological challenge there between Cardamonde and Angel printing, which is the 2 different printers, but yeah, it's very odd. Even the rarities end up being the same, it's still hard for different regions to practice draft. Yeah, I heard about yellow waxing. I actually don't know how they make these mistakes. Like, I feel like it's whatever it is, amount of card. I don't know. Mistakes happen, but got a foil weapon. Yeah, we don't think it exists at all in the Japanese printing whatsoever. It's not language, it's the print running the whole thing. Well, we got none. And not a Marvel. Not even a good common. I just did that wrong. That is a foily boy. It does impact limited. It also impacts collectors. Like, there's plenty of people out there that buy a foil playset of a new set, and then when you literally can't provide the cards, it's not fun. And yes, knowing there's more hazes than, yeah. I mean, it's not like a game-breaking thing, but if you guys can see that. See, where's my little knife thing? See right there, that white dot? That's like raised. That's like textured. It's got to be worth $1 million, right? 101 misprint. Who wants to buy it? Start the bidding at 1,000. Try and zip through these last 12 boxes. It's funny how these issues are always like on the nose predictable. We have a cold foil. Man, we haven't seen a good cold foil in a while. Surely there's one around the corner, right? Surely. But it's funny like how it's a yellow swapped for a yellow. It was a blue majestic swapped for another blue majestic. I wonder if it's just like attention to detail or really bad communication with the printer. Like, I wonder whose mistake it is. I have a lot of blood drop codexes in non-foil. Not complaining, it's definitely not the worst one to keep seeing. RF blood drops? Maybe one? I don't know. You can check the site tomorrow and order it using the code pickup if we have any, and just put a note that it's for Melbourne, bud, and we can do that. I'm not even sure. Maybe we already have some. I doubt we have many. If we have some, it'll be like a couple. Yeah, inertia can be very bad. I mean, they're all very annoying on hits. I think blood rot's like the most consistent. Inertia can be the most value for sure, depending on what you've done. But I had a well, I think this is the first flick knives in Rainbow or Cold Foil that we've seen. What was it? Got hit with red in the ledger and an inertia token. So basically, I couldn't play my cards and I didn't get to Arsenal. It's just like, anyway, stuff like this turns me off about the game a lot. So we're not gonna get into it. But it's bullshit. some of the interactions that where you lose the game in one turn interaction is it's not necessary. It shouldn't exist. Shouldn't. There's just no need, especially when it's like no agency. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't. None of your decisions leading up to you getting red in the ledger dominated with 4 on hits. It's also why I won't play LL. Like, LL is literally a culmination of the heroes that the dev team fucked up when they made. So why would I like want to play it? There's no. I also like I remember that Azalea used to be just as strong, but lacked consistency, and they went well out of their way to improve the consistency of that deck. Like, it's very consistent now. I think it's quite hard to brick, but Azalea used to be a deck that you could. Same as Runeblades. When Runeblade was always a deck that could brick, like if they drew too many non-attacks or too many attacks at once. So yes, they were strong and above rate, but then you had that window if they bricked where you could get tempo back. All right, here's our chance. I'm only gonna open this normally, but nah, it's just a common anyway. I mean, it could be. Nah, I was gonna say could be like what's the really good one? The Majestic Headpiece. Sure, but it's. I mean, every deck can theoretically brick and fab, but the consistency is so high now. The amount of agency you have over your arsenal and the decisions with all the equipment, it's a very consistent deck. I know it has its like limitations, but hell, even their equipment blocks these days. It used to be a deck at least that couldn't stop their own on hits, but they have traps and they have some blocking equipment. Seen a bunch of these red foil Murkmire grapnels, which are good, right? They didn't used to be, but Mr. Rare again. There you are. Yeah, 2 lace with blood rot's great, huh? Especially late game. It's like, oh, I hit you for 1, but I actually hit you for 5. Hey, another Van Brace. No collation issues, guys. Nothing to see here. How many is that now? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, not terribly unhappy. It's just weird to see so many. Alright, exactly 10 boxes left. To be fair, I don't think Warmongers is that good against Azalea. Like, I know it obviously helps, but when you Warmonger an Azalea, they just block, and then they set up a really good arsenal for the next turn. Like, it's not... They can still shoot... they can still deal a crap load of damage. If you know what I mean. Like, it's not like they can't play the game. Also, I feel like if you've been in the loop of blocking, it's not enough for an Azalea to take one turn off for you to win the game. Also, remember, I'm like a warrior player, right? So keep that context in mind. Some decks obviously can easily prey on an Azalea, and that's fine. Sorry, big. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. If you end the chain with it, fine. They choose war, right? And they can still usually throw 6 at you and set up. Let's say if they've got to premeditate that they can't play, you're not disrupting to the point they lose the premeditate. You're just forcing them to arsenal it, as an example. But yeah, you're right. They can't block, but they can... You're forcing them to take like half a turn off. Which in my experience has still sometimes meant like a 6 dominate comes in and you just eat shit anyway. Yeah, no, I just don't think it's a big enough disruption. It's obviously one of the only ways to get some tempo back, though. But also, you're causing yourself to IP in most decks. Like, I can't have a big turn on Dory if I use a Warmongers either. So, yeah, see, like Ninja's different. I think you care less about the Warmonger's effect than some other decks. Because you can just go wide, regardless of whether you have none attacks or not. I mean, Brute struggles too. You Warmongers, and then you draw into a Blood Rush, so you can't have your big turn either. I mean, that makes Warmongers balanced. I understand that it's like limiting you as well. You're just hoping it limits them more, but what I'm saying is it doesn't solve the lack of agency you have playing into Azalea on certain decks. That's all. Hey, foil gore belching. What a hit. Nine boxes left. Whew. Foil Codex Frailty. I like that. I think that's our first foil one. No marvels yet. Still a chance. Whoops. Shows you how rare the marvels are. Jeez. I think, like, theoretically we're owed 3? No, 2. We should get 2 in the amount of boxes we open, theoretically. But, I mean, it's still possible. It's just getting more and more unlikely as we go. But I'm not, like, opening these boxes sequentially or anything, so... Yeah, well, anything that interacts with Graveyard, in and of itself, the card's not completely broken. It's also the fact that it allows for people to play 6 red in the ledgers, you know? That's the issue. 6 death touches, 6... Yeah, it's any card that... I mean, Warrior doesn't have a single card like that, as an example, where I could have... Man, if I could play 6 Glistenings, like, I would have to play Remembrance, right? Which is... comes at its own cost, because it doesn't block and... whatever. It's not a Warrior card. But... yeah, the ability to recur cards is what makes that card stupid. And here we go. Is this a Marvel? Yes, it is. We'll get to it. See how easy it is to tell with the little beige. We just have to complain. It's always the case. Amplifying Arrow. Is it the good one? Ooh, it's not a bad one, that's for sure. Blood Rot. I'll try to see if you guys can see how red the ink is. There you go. It's literally like, looks like blood when you put it under the right light. Well, we got one. Centering's not bad either. Alright, can we get another one? Will it be in the shop? Yeah. No, I don't play it. If Dev is watching, he can put it in the shop right now for you to buy. If not, just give me till tomorrow. Here we go, another cold foil. It's not a Marvel. It's a Shuriken. I mean, still don't know why this card exists, but there you go. Cold foil, Silverwind Shuriken. It's probably not terrible. I don't know why I'm talking so much crap about it. But it doesn't see play, does it? It's a Shuriken item. Oh, right. That's pretty unique, I guess. I just never seen it played. I didn't realize it was a shuriken item, like a potion that you put out. There's two variants of it. Ah, right, because the shuriken itself is cold foil. What is it in Belgian print? And the border, right. So you're saying this border is not cold foil. You are correct. There's no cold foiling on the border. That's so interesting. Why would they do that? Yeah, it's also just a rainbow foil. That's fine though. Like Fables are, I don't know. The cold foil is quite high, like 1 in 80 boxes or something. We're only opening 36. Foil trap. It's a very nice pack. Check that out. Not quite a god pack, but that was a beautiful pack. Oops. So, in non-fab news, who here plays Path of Exile? That's what I want to know. Because they announced the new season, which is in like 6 days, and holy crap, am I excited. Does anyone else care? I mean, I'll give you guys the 1 hour after, and it was much better news. I don't know if you've ever played Path of Exile, but it's a free-to-play game, also made in New Zealand. Chris Wilson and James White are friends, and actually, here's like a bit of trivia for you. The founder of Grinding Gear Games, the Path of Exile, is probably the primary reason we have Flesh and Blood, because I believe, and I am only guessing, I don't have this confirmed, but I believe Chris Wilson is the one who bought James White's Magic collection, which is how James funded LSS. Just a bit of a tidbit for you. If you want to know who Chris Wilson is in terms of TCGs, you can find him on the Alpha Investments channel. He has the world's largest misprint Magic collection, I believe. Some very cool shit. Anyway, Path of Exile. The main reason the game is hard is the trading portion of the game has to happen through like external websites and mods, and there's so many bots and bullshit that happen. It's very, very hard to progress when you're relying on the trading. So a lot of people play it like solo and they don't trade, or it's just they put up with it. But they finally put trading in the game, like a World of Warcraft auction house type of deal. So that's very exciting. If you know what I'm talking about, it's very exciting to not have to rely on external trading. But I mean, no, it didn't have anything. You could only trade. So there's like an official trade forum, and people, Foil Codex of Inertia, people use like different APIs to manipulate it. It's actually huge news for the game. It's also a long time coming. The theory, and which is more or less confirmed, is that this is a feature for PoE 2 that they ported over because they could, which is very cool. Also, a pretty good way to test it. Test the PoE 2 feature by releasing it in PoE 1 first is very smart. Big P, yeah, it's very frustrating. Mind you, you can only trade stackable items that are not unique. So you can't trade like, look at that pack, Premeditate into Redback Shroud. You can't trade cards that are unique, like when I say unique, have modifiers. So you can just trade currency. But that's actually like the main thing in the game is crafting with currency, and something's just missing, and then you have to literally take an hour break from the game just so you can do it. Well, now it's passive. You can put like a buy order in the auction house. I'm using inverted commas. It's not called an auction house. And then you just go play and then come back and check if it's your stuff is in your bag. It's very cool. Massive leap forward for the game. What is that game, like freaking 20 years old now? Probably not 20, but it's old. Yeah. PoE is not noob friendly, that's for sure. And the talent tree, I don't think there's many people in the world that fully grasp the talent tree of PoE. It's a very... I've heard some examples, but it's one of those games you very much need external help. Build guides or like a spreadsheet to help you play. But it makes it really fun when you follow, like if you get into it. Yeah, PoE is mainly played by... PoE is a very heavy theory crafting game. Yeah, Warframe's free. Yeah, it's sometimes called Path of Math, I think. But the cool thing is there's very good content creators for that game. So if you wanted to play, the idea is you follow them. You usually follow a build guide, and then once you learn enough about the game, you still follow build guides and tend to riff and make your own stuff based on someone's guide rather than do the theory crafting yourself. Yeah, it's Path of Math for sure. I think PoE 2 is very much going to be different to that. I think they need a game that's less... has less friction on entry. It's fine for a game to have depth. Like Fab has depth, but the friction to enter is quite low. You can teach someone to play Blitz in half an hour. You won't know much about PoE in half an hour. We've got 5.5 boxes left. We have so many RF legendaries. I forgot that this was a thing. This has changed. This no longer happens. Hey, Razkin. It's another Codex of Frailty. Look, I still feel like a game like PoE that has seasons that the game sort of resets is still much better than getting into something like League, where there's so many heroes and variables that it's nearly impossible to get very good at the game if you have no prior knowledge and start today, you know? Or like WoW. Like, I don't think you can enjoy WoW if you like started playing today. There's so much going on. I know they do their best to get people in, but... Here we go, cold foil. Man. I'm trying. I think Toxic Tips does see play. Is that the one that does make the odd death list? I don't think it is anymore. Could be. What's the new competition to Eve? Star Citizen, is that the one? The new space. Yeah, it's a different company, but it's like a similar. It's a space simulator thing. Is that the game? That's crazy. I mean, Eve is like. Yeah, Eve is a crazy game. The amount of, like, even just money in that game is ridiculous. Probably puts the entire Flesh and Blood market to shame. The amount of money people have spent and do spend. Yeah, I bought a lot with my Counter-Strike skins profits. Seeker's leggings. I used to play a lot and gamble a lot, like on the tournaments. Never with real money, but it ends up being real money because skins were worth so much. I got my first knife from gambling rather than like actually opening one. What's funny is everything we're discussing with online games and collectibles are basically NFTs. Like Counter-Strike skins are very much what an NFT is. It's a non-fungible token. You get a unique skin that you own. You can trade. You can sell. Whoops. Another premeditate. Still, I don't think we've seen a single foil one yet. So imagine opening just to get one foil majestic you're missing. Wouldn't that suck? Inertia. Come on, we need one more big hit. We haven't even seen like a Cold 4 legendary in I reckon it's been hours. We got them all early. Mr. Rare, but that's fine. So many foil red Murkmires. Alright, here's a cold foil. Man. It's not going to happen for us, is it? It's gonna be last pack magic for sure. It'll be like a cold foil plague hive, very last pack. Let's see us go towards skin transfer. Yes, they did drop. Which I imagine would have cost them a fortune in resources to do, but everything ported over in like higher fidelity. I mean, I'm long out of that game. Definitely don't have, like I have a couple of skins that are just for fun, but yeah, Valve isn't going anywhere. And they probably have limitless money. Foil burdens. Whoops. 3 boxes left. Yes, Half-Life was... I think I played more Half-Life Opposing Force and then Counter-Strike because you could play them multiplayer at LANs. Spent most of my formative years playing in LAN cafes. Formative years? No, teenage, adolescence. Yes, Quake was very good. Unreal Tournament, I played a lot. What a game. I can still hear the announcer's voice in my head for Unreal Tournament. Good one, Hemel. Alright, cold foil. Only a few boxes left. Nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't waste price packs on EA, trying to get EA anything in this set. Sell the packs. Buy the single. Now at this rate we're going to hit 0 cold foil EAs, which is crazy, but whoops, that goes there. Exactly, Hemel. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the last pack of this box. 2 more to go. I'm gonna count these RF legendaries because it seems kind of crazy with the amount of boxes we've opened. Like, maybe not that crazy actually. We just got a lot in like a short span of time. It felt crazy. If you're still here, thanks for hanging out, tuning in. I should stream a little more in the next few weeks. Have Bright Lights, HP1, and Everfest probably next. I was looking. And yeah, a bunch of Tales, but we'll maybe do that a little closer to September release. You know what I did that's really fun, guys, is save your armory packs for a whole year. So, opening packs is still one of the more pleasurable experiences you can do if you play TCGs. Because it's a little gambly, you can obviously hit very big. So it's more fun to open them all in a bunch than like open one and get nothing. Codex Frailty, not bad. Here's our cold foil. Not a marvel. It's nothing really. Sorcery draft, huh? Didn't realize it was draftable. Is this the new set or? Another Vambrace. All right. This is the last box. Hopefully it's a good one. I mean, at this rate, any Cold for Legendary would be great. Extended Shroud or Trench. I mean, that's not a bad pack to start, really. It's only an inertia, but foil codex is always nice. Hopefully that's not all the luck in this box gone. But remember that, because if this has anything else in it, this box was crazy. Rip blue bonds. Yeah. I don't feel sorry for anyone. I played Dorinthia. Any deck that gets a ban is okay by me. Because my deck's never had a ban. Alright. Can we? I mean, no cold foil yet. This is roughly the halfway point of the box. Give or take a pack. I think this is the halfway. I'm just zooming to the last pack because clearly there's nothing else in the box, right? Alright, here's the cold foil. It's not a marvel. Look, it could have been worse, so we'll take that. Cold foil weapons are okay, but that doesn't bode well for the rest of the box. Not bad. So that's the second codex in this box. One was a foil. Overall, not a terrible box. If it has anything else in it, it's a pretty good box. Two packs left. Last pack, not a cold foil. Rustling leaves. Nope. No luck for us. Let me move some of this bulk away. All right, I'm off. Let's count these actually. 14 RF legendaries in 36 boxes is kind of nutty. Again, come back tomorrow if any of these cards are something you wanted to buy. They'll be on the shop. It's liquorbox.com. I'm going to go eat. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.